Okay, can people hear me? Ooh, there's writing on the screen. There's writing on the screen. Get rid of that. Hello, everyone. What is happening? I'm wearing purple in the. Oh, Sonic. Sonic says I was working last night. Hello, all. Glad you saw the video, Sonic. Hey, thanks, Sonic. That's so nice of you. I've really done nothing yet, Sonic. But thank you, Sonic. That's very kind of you. Good to see you. I'm wearing purple next to a purple background. I'm a little warm. I may take off my sweatshirt, though. But we have right now, look who's moderating. BZ and Raven Riley and Sarah and Lexa Fulmer are all moderating. That's so nice. That is so nice. We also have, hang on, I'm getting organized here. I'm just getting organized here. Polly says my head is floating. A Moment of Lovely is over there on Twitch moderating. I don't think I've ever done this. I don't think I've ever worn this sweater with this background. Ooh, hey, I'll be able to. Hold on a second here. Hold on. Let's see here. Erica says today stinks, there was a hate crime symbol sprayed on a house about a mile from me. Want to help clean up, but it makes me sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Wow, I hadn't heard. That's in Nashville? Thanks for being here, Erica. We have Pat W. is here, Pumpkin Prez is here, Alex Duncan, Dagan Johnston, Darth Tater, J-A-N-P. Let's see. Kim Zink, Kelly Song, who says there's a documentary about Surfside collapse coming up on Smithsonian Channel. Thank you for the heads up. MG Monkey is here. Sheba is here. Marlena Martirano is here. Darren Markley is here. Oops. Hold on a second here. Somehow I had my phone. What is going on here? Somehow I had my phone on dictation, and I looked down at my phone, and literally everything I say is coming up on my phone. April Coco's here. Polly is here. Kalivoltaire is here. She just ran a marathon today. We'd have to see what we can get out of her about that. Congratulations, Kalivoltaire. Brad is here. F-22 Raptors here. Joanne Monahan is here. Linda Gordon is here. Big Bill is here. Austin Gaming is here. Wellness Sarah is here. Zach Cohen is here. Hope things are going well with the album, Zach. Bryn Cakes. Al Gruel. Julie's You. Barbara D. Jan Porter. Lisk. Rick Hoppy is here from California, from Pasadena. Manic Nation is here. Manic Nation. Manicamation? Manicamation. Joanne Schlicker. Kenro. Carol Preston. Ciao, Mr. Emeka Uzoma. Mix-a-Lot, Geraldine Carsonson, Darren Markley, Al Bo. Al, how's it going? Al Bo. Kira Knows. Travis Eccles. Gossamer, Brendan Brumond, Stephen Griffiths. Polly says a new Waco series on Netflix this week. Should be a good one. Interesting. Might have to check that out. JLL. And Ian Toxicated is over there on Twitch. Nathan Volt is over there on Twitch. Oh, I did not wear a green. Yeah, maybe I should have. For St. Patrick's Day. I apologize, Ian Toxicated, about that. Oh Hi Bacon is here on Twitch too. Oh, Callie, that's so nice of you. Thanks, Callie. Callie says, thank you everyone for your well wishes. Cheers and congrats. I finished the marathon. I wish I had enough energy to zoom in, but I'm very tired. Yeah, she is exhausted, or we'd have her zoom in. But she ran the LA Marathon today. Kalivoltaire. How about that? I think we might have a picture of her. I think. Hey guys, I got a picture of Kalivoltaire from the marathon. Let's check this out. This is really cool. Let me do it this way. Are you guys ready to see Kalivoltaire at the marathon? She sent a picture. Here she is. It's Kalivoltaire at the marathon. Wow. Cool picture. Maybe she'll zoom in one day and tell us about it, but not tonight. Thank you again, Kalivoltaire. Congratulations. Looks like you're with your team. Oh, Al's going to be around for the whole stream tonight. Nice. Good to hear, Al. Timmy Two Shoe is here. Croach Shamglin is here. Raccoon Man is here. Thanks, Raccoon Man, for coming by, for your kind words. Laughingstock is here. David Dunn is here. From the UK. Yeah, it is late there in the UK. It's late here. We started this late, unfortunately. Archie is here. Everybody is psyched about Kalivoltaire. David Click is here. Cuddy. Hey, Sharon Heberling is here. Sharon, I hope you're doing well. Sharon Heberling. Zapper Smith is here. Andrew Broadwater is here. Sal Dada. Joe's Crayons. Al says it's kind of inspiring me to exercise more. Paula Faust is here. Callie, can you tell us anything about it? I know you're tired, but anything you want to say about it, Callie? People would love to have more information about your run. A little warm. I'm going to take my sweatshirt off. I have a black shirt on underneath. I won't be all purple anymore when I take my sweatshirt off. We'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. There, now you can see me. Oops, there's like there was a I think there was a box on the screen. I don't know if there's a box on the screen. No, now there is. There we go. Al says, I went to a birthday party for a 2-year-old yesterday with like 100 people. Callie says, I ran with my team, the LA Roadrunners. What time did you have to get up for that? I bet it was insane. Let me see if I can find the LA Marathon route. She says, we had a good run, although it was very humid and it rained. The Court, from the McCourt Foundation, about the race. Okay, there it is. Oh, okay, so it starts at Dodger Stadium and it finishes on Santa Monica Boulevard. This is interesting. I don't know that I ever knew what the route was. I lived in LA for many years. So it starts at Dodger Stadium. It goes downtown, first of all. They run around downtown, and then what do they go up the 101? Go through Silver Lake, and they go up through Hollywood. to West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, Century City. It's so funny because, oh, thanks, Zach Cohen. And Norm Z. Hey, thanks so much to Norm Z and Zach Cohen. Wow, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Norm Z and Zach Cohen. You know what's interesting about this? Like the Boston Marathon is the same length, as the LA Marathon. They're both marathons. But the Boston Marathon, very little of the Boston, not very little, but only a fairly small percentage of the Boston Marathon is actually in the city of Boston. I don't know if it's like 4 of the last 26 miles or something, but where I am, Newton, I think is around mile 20, and Newton is not in Boston. So, most of the Boston Marathon is starts outside of Boston and it ends up in Boston. The interesting thing about it just shows how big LA is. All of this, everything on that route is considered Los Angeles, not suburbs of Los Angeles. Everything on that route is centrally located Los Angeles. That's how big Los Angeles is that they can do a whole marathon. And if you lived anywhere on that route, people would just say, you live in Los Angeles. Not outside, not in a suburb. You're right there. It just shows how big it is. It's crazy. If you live there, you might have friends living anywhere on that line or even farther away, even like in Santa Monica or something. Well, so Polly says, so Beverly Hills and Los Angeles. So what I'm saying is I think Beverly Hills and West Hollywood might be their own towns. But my point is, though, it's not a point about technical legal designations. My point is, like, all of those places are considered centrally located. Like, if you lived in any of those places, nobody would say, you're living like a little outside the city. Those are all centrally located places. Like, those are places that, you might have friends living in if you live there. Those are places that you might have a job or a work meeting if you live there. None of it is considered really outside the city at all. It's all kind of equally part of what's considered living in Los Angeles. So it's just crazy that it's all, and even more that Santa Monica that's considered living in LA, all of this in here too. So Culver City as well. So it's just crazy that the whole marathon is there's no suburb. Callie says for Beverly Hills, we ran the Rodeo Drive area where there are shops. Yeah. So like Polly, I live in a suburb now called Newton. So I say I live in Boston just for simplicity's sake, but Newton is clearly a suburb of Boston. If you live in Newton, you don't live in the city. But all of these places are considered just living in centrally located LA. Linda says I lived in the Valley and it's LA. Yeah, like Studio City. But see, somebody might say, like, if you live in Studio City or Coldwater Canyon, you're in LA, but they might say, you live in the Valley. Whereas, no one's going to say that about any of these, even in a more restricted sense, all these things are there. So it's just so big. And again, I'm not talking about official designations. Now, I think I ran 12 miles on the treadmill once. I don't really run outside anymore. I've never done a marathon. The Boston Marathon starts in Hopkinton. And that's considered out there. Yeah, so Boston Marathon starts in Hopkinton, and that's considered pretty far out. And it makes its way through here, and I'm in Newton, right? I'm in Newton. It goes through Newton and into Boston. But none of this. So this is the marathon route. Most of that is not considered living in Boston. But all of the LA marathon is really considered. Oh, you live in LA. Wow. Yeah, Croat lives in LA County, Pasadena, and that's part of Greater Los Angeles. But somebody would say, oh, you're living in the Los Angeles area. But it's still considered, LA generally speaking. Yeah, so this is the Boston Marathon route. These are, Hopkinton is considered like a way out there suburb. Ashland's considered a pretty far away suburb. Framingham is a suburb. All of this is suburbs. Newton. Really, not until you get to the last 4 miles are you really in town. So weird. Zapper says, I live in a tiny town west of Wichita. It's about 45 minutes from Wichita. I generally tell people I live in Wichita. April Coco says, would love to run the NYC Marathon one day. We'll see. Al, it's great having a treadmill. I love it. I love having a treadmill. It's great. Linda Gordon says, Sherman Oaks, Chatsworth, and Woodland Hills, all LA. Is it City of LA? I don't even know. I don't remember all the designations. Fenway, I think, is technically, it might even be in Brookline, which is part of Boston. I believe Brookline is part of Boston. It's part of the, Brookline is a town which is part of the Boston metropolitan area. I don't know if Fenway Park maybe it's in Kent. I don't know if it's technically in Boston or Brookline. Let me see. It's in Fenway Park is in Boston, near Brookline. So it's in Boston. Okay. Callie says, LA Marathon changed. My first LA Marathon was in 2020 and very different and has become very beautiful. And again, in case you missed it, here is a picture of Kalivoltaire from today's LA Marathon. She ran it today. Sander is here. Cherry Cola is here. Polly says he really wants to go to LA someday. It's worth a visit. It's just so big. It's so big. If you live there, you will drive an hour to see a friend or something or go to a party. It's entirely normal. An hour. Marzel is here. Callie has been running marathons for 23 years. Wow. I'd really like to do one day. It's just, you got to train for it and stuff. I'd really like to do one day. I'm hearing myself. Anyways, I'm sure she's exhausted, but maybe one time, maybe in the future, we will hear more from her about her experience. Yeah, Callie says I'm running Boston with her. I really would like to one day, but you got to really train. I don't want to do it without try it without training. That would not be a good scene. I think my brother ran Boston once. Al says my therapist runs ultra marathons. Those are 100 miles. Corey is here. Hello, Corey. Darren Markley. Maka Waka is there over on Twitch. Hello. Gaming Daryl is on Twitch. Gaming Daryl says congrats on running the marathon. Pumpkin Prez on Twitch says, good job, Callie. Mike Wicker is here. All right, so, we have not streamed on... We're now a week since the last Agenda Free TV stream. Well, no. We're almost a week. The last Agenda Free TV stream was Monday morning. Last week. The bank stocks price crash. That was the last Agenda Free TV stream. April says, we were going to LA in May. Very cool. Have you ever been before? Tell Callie. Kay watched the marathon on YouTube, says Callie. Yeah, Al knows. It's has not been a busy news week. It's so weird. It's so dear. It's just, some weeks you're just nonstop busy covering the news on the air. And other weeks it's not like that. It's just, you never know. And things can change all of a sudden. You guys, Callie, you and April and Hetty should meet up. Yeah, I wouldn't get wedded to Tuesday. I don't think Trump had any actual reliable information about the Tuesday date when he spoke about it. April says he's been there twice before, his family there. Let's see. Hey, Eddie Smith, thank you. Thanks, Eddie. What's new? Very kind of you. Eddie, are you home yet? Eddie, a couple nights ago we showed Eddie's really cool drone footage. Eddie's been on vacation at a Lake Wichita in Arkansas. Did I see what happened with the Swiss bank? First of all, that's news. But second of all, which you're not supposed to be bringing up unless it's an emergency. But second of all, I posted about it on my Twitter hours and hours ago. Eddie, what is new? Eddie says, back in Texas at my ex-brother-in-law's house. Eddie is working on a new... Thank you, Eddie, by the way. That's really nice of you. Eddie is working on a new video for his channel, Country Road Entertainment. Sorry. Which I look forward to seeing. Uh-oh. Hold on a second. Callie says, I saw Eddie's drone footage. Very, very cool. There's Eddie's channel, Country Road Entertainment, on YouTube. So I'll let you know when that video is ready. Did I get my fan replaced? Injured Robot, man, you got to catch up. Injured Robot, we've probably done 3 different fan updates on recent videos. It's all in the chapters. You can go to one of the earlier videos and it'll say Retro Fan Update. Where have you been, Injured Robot? I think there's one last. I think the last 3 streams we've done them. Hang on. I think we did it last night, but it wasn't a chapter. 2 streams ago, we did one. Yeah, so like, for example, live stream 314, Randy Retro Fan Update. You can leave a, hold on. Oh, Injured Robot, you were sick with COVID? Oh. I hope you're feeling better, Injured Robot. I guess Injured Robot was sick for a while. Yeah, we've had a couple of viewers have COVID recently. No, I did not do anything for St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, so as soon as Randy's here, we'll open the replacement fan, of which there shouldn't be two, but there's actually two of them. But I gotta wait till Randy comes by. Randy said he's been super busy and he's been out of town, but he'll be by soon. Maka Waka appeared in the YouTube chat from Twitch. Jay Smith is here. I'll do tacos at some point. At some point. Uh-oh. Somebody's got to change their username over there on Twitch. Got to change your username. Can't do that. Buff24 is here. Oh, Sarah's on it. Thanks, Sarah. Mark Rush. Yeah, it was a little warm, so I decided to take off my hoodie early. I had a hoodie right here, but I took it off. Hal Face is here. I didn't even really watch basketball today. I had a bunch of family stuff to do today. A bunch of family things. So I was doing that. My girlfriend actually she knows I'm streaming tonight. And she said, tell everyone I said hello. But I can't say anything else about her, and I'm not going to. But that's what she wanted me to say, that she says hello to you. Ian, intoxicated, went to a Mongolian grill today. I've been to a Mongolian grill in years. Used to be one in Westwood that wasn't bad. Let's thank our mods again. Lexa Fomer, Raven Riley, Sarah, Beezy, A Moment of Lovely, K Body. Eddie, anything else new? Maybe she'll read the chat. I don't believe she's watching now. Maybe she'll read the chat after the stream. And she'll see everybody saying hi to her. Polly says, hope to meet you someday. Yeah, I don't think she's coming on the stream anytime soon. I don't anticipate that happening in the near future. Kay says Kay, did you actually see Callie on the marathon when you were watching it live? Sarah says 10-10 don't recommend. Yeah. Kay, did you see it? Did you see watching it live? See Callie? She said she tried. It's so weird. We went like in February, we went like 3 weeks or something with no Lookner streams. And I think we went like 4 weeks with like 2 Lookner streams. And now it's like we're doing them every night because I haven't been covering news. LNG is here. Let's see here. Buff24 says, can't you cover Ukraine? I'll cover Ukraine when there's major big new developments in Ukraine. That's when I cover Ukraine. Right now, there's not major new big developments in Ukraine. I don't just go on there and cover it every day. There are channels that go on every day and like summarize what's going on. I don't do that. I cover it when there's major new big developments. So if there's major new big developments, I will cover Ukraine. Marzelle says she sold a dolphin-themed quilt today. Very nice. Purple Sage is here, by the way. Marzelle sent me a message last stream, I think it was. Hang on. Hang on, folks. Hang on a second here. What is the Discord help address? I got to look that up. Can I find the Discord help address? AFTV fans Discord. Okay, at Gmail. Let me show you Marzelle's video. Marzelle sent a video of a quilt she has been making. She makes quilts. And let me show you a video of it, if I can do this. She says this one is called Cityscape.
I finished everything except for tying it off. And it was a fabulously fun quilt to make. I just love that centerpiece. And the back is this amazing fabric here. So I have to lint roll it and tie it off, which is not going to be today, but it is 87 inches long and 80 inches wide. So definitely a big quilt. Good for a king size bed.
That's pretty cool. Great job, Marzelle. She makes big quilts. Let's see. Hey, Linda Belk came by to mod. Hello, Linda. How are you, Linda Belk? Sandra M is here. Sheba is here. I had to get up a little early today. I had to go watch my nephew's basketball game. He plays in the local city league. He was on the All-Star team. So I watched him. So I didn't get as much sleep as I normally do. So hopefully I can power up here. I don't even remember which team won. It was kind of like, it wasn't really about the teams, because like it was just about like the All-Stars. So I got to see him hit a three-pointer. Oh, Eddie says you will have the early access link to the new video soon. YouTube is almost done processing it. Awesome. I can't wait. And I will let people know about it, if that's all right with you, Eddie. He did not get any dunks. I don't even know what jersey number he wears. I don't even remember. Oh, you know what's interesting? Funny story. When I went today to see my nephew play basketball in the City League, in the All-Star game, one of the referees was a guy, no joke, I had not seen in about 30 years. He used to be a counselor at the camp where I was where I was first a camper and then I was a counselor, and he was a counselor there. And once in a while, he still refs some local kids games, and he was the ref today. But really, I had not seen him in about 30 years. It's crazy when you haven't seen someone in 30 years. And you're like, wow, 30 years went by. Unreal. And then it's just like, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on? 30 years have gone by. Groovy Goose is here. I didn't recognize him at first. My brother pointed out, and then I was like, oh, that's him. Yeah, we talked. We talked, and we caught up a bit. The talk's the same. Doing well. You know, when I knew him, he wasn't even married, and now he has like 2 kids in college. Groovy Goose says, we have a chess tournament tomorrow. Sorry, wish me luck. You know what we might do tonight is I've been making some decent progress on the packages, and we're really almost caught up with the packages, but there's still a couple there. So I might open a couple more packages. We'll see. We'll see. But I really am making progress. Adam says, watching you on my phone in the NCAA on TV. I don't even know who's playing right now on the NCAA. Agenda Free TV has been around since 2018. I don't know, Joel, if that's a hint to send more packages. I kind of like not having all of them sitting around, at least for once. Okay, there's 2 games going on right now. 2 games. Adam, you just posted a spoiler for the people who might have been watching it later. Were there any upsets in the women's games today? I don't even know. I haven't even checked. Possible. I gotta maybe put that on in the background. That'd be a big upset. I'm not going to watch it, but I'll put it on in the background. Is anybody... I actually find women's basketball quite interesting. It's a little slower paced than the men's is these days, but I think there's more passing. It's kind of... Women's basketball now is kind of like how NBA was when I was growing up. And it's not... It's NBA now is like all 3-pointers. Yeah, as Al was saying, it's the Stanford game. That would be a really big upset if Stanford lost. Be really big upset. So I'm going to just put it on. Polly says not for me. I was watching some of a game yesterday. I watched a couple of the games. But Paula played basketball in high school. Anyways, that would be a big upset. Be enormous. Alexa says, my dad likes women's basketball and watches them more than the NBA games. Sarah says, it's been a while since we watched a game. Once in a while here, there'll be like some big game on, and I'll do a stream and I'll have it on in the background. And then if something really crazy happens, we'll all talk about it. I don't know that that's going to happen in this women's Stanford game. Ty M. Daly says, I'm a Purdue fan, so this tournament is tainted. Okay, so maybe we'll open a couple things. What is this? Erica, you sent me something. Erica sent me a painting, but she didn't tell me what the painting is of. Erica, do you want to talk about this? It looks like her painting. Oops. Here it is. Erica says, I did this week. Blue is masking fluid, so it will be white. It's watercolor. This is Erica's new painting. We have a lot of good artists in our group. I mean, Rick Hoppy is an amazing animator, and we have Erica and Gail paints. A number of our viewers paint. Polly says he watches women's or men's tennis. Marzell quilts. We have viewers doing all kinds of things. Eddie making videos. Thanks for sending that in. One moment. Ursula Anderson is here. Let's see. Retro fan. Retro fan mentioned slot car racing. I don't even know what slot car racing is. Oh, you mean like this? I know what this is. We used to have, this really takes me back. When I was a kid, my brother and I had one of these tracks, and we would use it. I was a little kid, so I didn't really know what I was doing. But we did have a track that you pressed like the trigger and the car would go around. But you couldn't go that fast or the car would go fly off on the turn. People remember these things? A lot of people had these tracks when I was a kid. Whatever happened to these? I forget what they were even called. Slot racing, says Kim. I forget what the brand was. The Mac Geek says, I had a slot car track with an HO train crossing. I would devise huge train crashes, LOL. Connie says, I had them set up on plywood. Adam says, slot cars are making a comeback. Yeah, I haven't even thought about this for years, but we did have one growing up. Aurora. Jimmy says it's Aurora. Maybe it was Aurora. Hey, Al's trying to find somebody to be the last person in his fantasy baseball league. If anybody's looking for one. Aurora slot cards for sale. Is that it? I don't even know. I can't even find it. Let's see here. Connie Fernandez says Tycho. See Michelle Sparks, I talked to a few months ago. She's okay, but she hasn't been coming by the streams. But she was okay when we touched base. I should reach out to her again. You know, sometimes people just get kind of busy and they just go do their own thing. Phyllis and Harry, I haven't heard from for a little while. I should give them a shout. I assume they're okay. You know, people sometimes they come through and they hang out for a while and then they kind of go somewhere else. Steve Mack is here. Now I'm getting a little cold. Tony Del Monte, I talked to Tony. We heard from Tony. I messaged with Tony like a week ago, and he had gotten COVID, but he was feeling somewhat better. But I don't know if he's taking time off or what. I hope he's okay. I haven't heard from him that he's not doing well. Joe's Crayons sent a picture. Joe's Crayons sent a picture. Let me show you the picture. Joe's Cran says, this is a picture of me, my dad, and my sister at Hartford, Connecticut in a place called 90s. 90s Con we went to yesterday. We met the guy of my childhood and someone I wanted to leave my whole life, Steve Burns from Blues Clues. That's him right there, right? Very cool. Lexa says, I know whose parents? Joe's Cran's parents or Steve Burns' parents? Al says, grew up on Blues Clues. Jeff Hughes McGee says, we ran into him in a bar once in Midtown Manhattan. I do remember, Retrofan, that car where you used a special long thing with teeth that revved up the car when you pulled on it. If I remember right, it was like something with a dial you turned, a thing you rotated. Hey, One Way Street is here. Good to see you, Derek. What's happening, Derek? I got to shake things up tonight. I had I had to wake up earlier than I wanted to today. So I got to shake some things up tonight. Thanks for bearing with me with the late starts of the streams the last couple days. I want to start them earlier. So I just had a bunch of stuff to do the last couple days. So they ended up starting later, but if we do them this week, we'll start them earlier. Sarah said you could start at 3 a.m. and someone would be here. And all those people would say, we love when you start at 3 a.m. Let's see here. Maybe we could have Al call in for a few minutes. Al, do you want to call in for a few minutes? We had talked about Al calling in. Take a little phone call or a Zoom call. You know, it's good to have somebody else call in. We like to have people call in. Adam says, I didn't even know you were live tonight. Half the time and YouTube notifications don't work. Sign up for the Discord notifications. Discord notifications. Make sure you're signed up. Al says he can do it. Oh, thanks, JLL. JLL says, I have to get up early for work in the morning. Oh, no. You know I can't go without giving to the new set fund, though. Bye, Steve and everyone. Hey, JLL, that's so generous of you, JLL. Thank you. You know, in about a week, the new desk will be here. And when the new desk is here that Sean sent, we're gonna start working on the new Lookner set with background, like in a room, one of the rooms here. So that's when the desk gets here. We're going to start working on that. Maybe tonight we can also look at some possible shelving choices. Maybe we'll do that. Let's have Al call in and say hi. You guys like when people call in. Let's do that real quick. Hey, JLL, thank you. That's so kind of you. Maybe I'll put it towards the shelves. No green screen. Can we send you things to put on the background of the new set? No, don't do that yet. I don't want people sending me things without prior approval, because what will happen is people will send me something, and some of the things they sent I won't want to put behind me, and then people will get angry at me. So we're gonna have a process on that. JLL, really appreciate all your support. Yeah, so don't send me anything yet. Nothing. We'll talk about it when we start getting the room set up. Alibaba says, I better cancel those 15 plastic assorted plants then. We need to switch things up a little bit. Oh, thank you, Lark Sporadic. Lark says, for the new set, can't wait. Wow. So kind of you guys. I will put it towards it. You know, for long story short, the vast majority of you know this because we've been talking about it. But in case you don't know, I just want to have like a normal set, like streamers have, and not this thing behind me that makes it look like I'm being held under house arrest. So, for example, a streamer I like, his name is Nutty. Look, just a normal set, you know. Maybe some shelves. A lot of streamers do this. They shoot towards a corner of the room. They got some shelving up there. They put some stuff that represents them on the shelves. They got some cool LED lights. You know, nothing too fancy, but something. Just something. Not this empty room. You know. So we're getting that together. I don't know if the plant will come back. We'll see. We'll see if the plant will come back. Let me... I keep saying this. We're going to have Al call in. But thank you so much. Really nice of you, JLL and Lark Sporadic. Thanks also Eddie Smith, Zach Cohen, Norm Z, Kalivoltaire, and Sonic for your support. Too nice of you guys. Thank you. Let's see here. April says we are awaiting its return. Okay, how do I do this here? That's done. That's done. All right, Al, I'm going to send you a link. Al, I'm sending you a link. Hang on. I got to do a news check too. I'll do that. Al, I think we're going to email you the link. I think I'm going to do that. What is this? Huh? Okay. Sonic says, I finished eating, very nice. I made tacos, very nice. I found some of the big burrito-sized tortillas at the grocery store today. See, you made big burrito tacos. You made big tacos. Hey, Bash and Girls moderating on Twitch as well. Thank you. Let's see here. I gotta grab my headphones so I can hear Al. Again, I'm just grabbing my headphones. One moment. Okay. Hey, Kangaroo Island TV came by. Good to see you, Kangaroo Island TV. When are we going to do the walking tour of Kangaroo Island? Oh, we got to do it, Kangaroo Island TV. Kangaroo Island TV says, I made bean burritos, but only with the small tortillas. My tacos were excellent, by the way. I wish good beans were easier to make. I guess you can buy them canned, but I don't like that as much. I really like when you go to get barbecue and you get baked the beans with pork in them and stuff. They're so good. Oh, I think Al's here. Just waiting for Al. I see him there, but I don't see his video. Joe Meyer also made tacos today. All right, I see Al. Hold on a second. I see Al. Now, what I have to do, this is where it gets all complex. I have to change the audio. So we're going to do that. And then this is going to fix it. Okay. Al, can you say something? Al, I think you're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you Al. You've seen Al before. Ooh, did I freeze? Hold on, my picture froze. Let me unfreeze my picture. There I am. So Al's been nice enough to call in, guys, at 11:12 p.m., but it's only 8:12 his time, right, Al?
Right.
Yeah. So, but still very nice of him. All right, guys. Al Bo, my friend Al, is making a special appearance tonight for no good reason, but why not? Let's do it. All right, here he is. Let me see, Al, if I have this right. There he is. There's Al. I want to type something on the screen. Oh, I know what I'll do, Al. I can type it here. I'll do this, but I'll replace that text with... Al, are you like in San Francisco? Where are you?
Yeah, just outside of San Francisco now. Kind of on the coast just south of the city.
And I'll move this down. There we go. How's that?
Looks good. Now I just need to try to figure out how to not see myself. And
Wait, you're seeing your...
just because I have the YouTube too, so I can see you. And then, yeah.
Right. Sean TV says Pacifica. Does that mean anything to you, Al?
I am in Pacifica, yes.
Oh, you were on... So Sean knew where you were. Sean, are you near there? Sean? We'll see where Sean is. Sean's in the Bay Area somewhere. Kuda says Al needs a studio too. Al, you and I both need studios. But Al, you're not streaming right now. I am, so I really need one.
That's true.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Although I feel like I could have like a green screen behind me. It kind of is a good wall for it, I feel like.
I mean, you could get there are these virtual green screen programs that you can use. If you want it, you could do it now. Just don't use a photo that I don't have clearance for.
Is the Golden Gate Bridge okay?
Can you get the Wikipedia one?
I was just using what Zoom already naturally has.
Oh, I just don't know if they show it, because technically, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe get a Wikipedia. If you're using the Zoom, Zoom actually has automatic. You can do background replacement on Zoom. Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So, but what you can do is you can download a picture to your computer and then upload it on Zoom. It's just that way we know it's cleared.
I'll look for it.
While you do that, while Al is looking for a picture, we'll talk. Al, I know because Sean says he is 30 minutes further south from Al. I know Al because Al used to run a really good, successful, popular news Twitter feed, right, Al? And website. And we won't get into all the details now, but for some weird reason that has never really been fully made clear, Al was suspended from Twitter. And then he is hoping to get reinstated by Twitter, but that has not happened yet. Yes?
Yeah, I was hoping, I was suspended in January of 2020. It stayed suspended, kept trying to appeal, got nothing back. And then under the new
regime
ownership, they had said pretty much that everybody could come back, and obviously let a lot of people back onto the platform. I appealed again to try to get on, and then they were like, nope, you're not coming back. You're permanently suspended. We're not going to respond again.
I feel like it's all automated at this point when you write to them still.
Yeah. I mean, they had said it would take during this one. They were like, oh, we'll let you know within 7 days. And it took like 38 days for me to hear back this time.
Yeah.
Which is better than before, because before it was like it was pretty much immediate where it said no. And it seemed like this time somebody actually did review it. But I have not been given a proper response per while. All they had said was like platform manipulation, but I think Steve and a lot of maybe some of the viewers who knew my account, which was News Breaking Live, and before that Albo News, 162,000 followers. I think there was no platform manipulation going on.
Al was one of the first news accounts I ever followed on Twitter. Seriously, that's like before I was doing this, and I would just like myself. I wasn't streaming. I was just myself following news. I would see Al's stuff on Twitter, news announcements, and follow it there. So, but it's like kind of similar to like, it's worse though, but it's similar to like when my channel got suspended on Twitch for a month. It was obvious to me that I didn't break the rule, but I could, I sent in an appeal. They never looked at it. And then finally, after like 35 days, they looked at it and then they just wrote back, your appeal's been denied. No explanation whatsoever. And it's like, other people have this issue too. So, he can't do a different account, because if you do a different account, like they somehow connect it to the original account, right, Al? The Twitter?
Well, technically I have it.
In theory, if you try hard enough, but you can't do like Albo 2 or something like that, or.
Yeah, I probably couldn't. I don't know with the new
regime there.
It's actually made it a lot easier, I found, to create new accounts. I'm not sure if you knew this, but before, under old ownership, they were making it so if you signed up, you had to sign up with a new phone number. You couldn't sign up with just an email, and now they're letting you sign up with an email again. So. Oh,
you're saying so it would just be considered a new account by them. They wouldn't tie it to the old account, kind of thing.
I think it would be harder, and I don't know that they have the real interest to even find these old accounts that were suspended. So I don't know, but I feel like I'm kind of just demoralized. I haven't ever really pushed myself to get too much back into it. I really want to, because this was a big part of my life. I had I had hired 3 or 4 writers. I had people working for me. We were 24 hours a day writing, and I was doing this when I was doing my undergrad. I've been on Twitter. I was on Twitter since 2007, which I was 13 years old when I started doing news on Twitter. I worked for with the old BNO News back under it's old when it was breaking news on Twitter before they sold to NBC News back in 2009. So I was working with that stuff from when I was like 12, 13 years old. And so this has been the majority of my life has been doing news stuff, and it just took away that.
It was really terrible, And so I think I respect how much Al has like powered through, because it was so bad, it really sucks. So I still am hopeful that one day, Al, I was hoping that they would just kind of blanket unban you along with everybody else they're unbanning right now on Twitter, but it hasn't happened yet. So.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't want to get too, I don't get really too much into like other accounts, but I just am thinking, there are just some accounts that should probably not be doing news on Twitter that are actually pushing misinformation.
Right.
And they never got.
Al's account was not like that. Al's account, I followed it, and it was just a good news account. So, anyways,
we were sourcing the regular, of what the big news accounts. We were sourcing, CNN, NBC, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Fox News when they were pushed when they had big news. It was like we just sourced and really were pushing out the big stories as they happened.
Linda Gordon says, I remember on Steve's stream. I think what she's saying is she remembers, because I would sometimes mention your account on my stream, right? When you were posting, I would like say, hey, well, look, Albo News found this, that kind of thing, like I do with other ones.
Yeah, you would do a lot of, especially our videos. We found a lot of videos, and we showed and I know the first time really you and I actually connected, I think you were following me before it, but the first time we connected was with the Las Vegas shooting in 2017.
I think
as you were covering it all night, you were using a lot of my stuff, and I think I reached out to you after, and we started talking. I feel like we've been friends since.
Yep. Annie T wants to know if you're on YouTube, Al.
I'm not. I don't like the way I look in like video form. So
Al.
Generally,
You look good.
I feel like that's. I don't know if that's ever been a thing for you, Steve. Have you ever like when you first?
I don't like the way I look now, but I do it anyway. I mean,
but like
I'd have to do something else otherwise.
Like looking at themselves in camera.
Yeah, no, I know.
Really used to it.
Yeah. By the way, Vicky Freeman, if you stick around, Vicky, we'll open your package later if you're here later. Because Vicky has a package. Vicky sent a package to me. She's from the UK, and she sent a package. And I realized last night the package. She hasn't been here. I've been waiting for her to get here, be here so we could open it. And I realized like the package last night had consumable written on it. So I hope it's not rotting away, but we'll see if she sticks around. Let me see here. I wanted to see somebody else. Oh, somebody said nice. Jess C said that background pic is nice. What is that background picture, Al?
That is the Pacifica Pier here in Pacifica. It was from Wikipedia, so you're not going to get in trouble.
Okay, but you're in Pacifica, where I've never been. That's about that's like near San Francisco. I'm looking it up on my phone right now.
Yeah, it's about 10 minutes south of
here.
San Francisco, right on the water. I'm probably a 10-minute walk from the beach.
One of the viewers wants to know if you've been getting a lot of rain.
We have been
Yes.
getting a lot of rain. I would say that this is probably the craziest period of weather I've ever seen living in California, which is my whole life. Just this year, I mean, in the first, I think like 20 days, we beat what's the average for an entire year in the San Francisco area.
Yeah,
just the storms have just been crazy.
Are you getting more this week?
It did rain overnight and into today. It wasn't that bad, but yeah, there are a lot of storms, a lot of wind. The wind has just been, I mean, I think you were talking about the windows being blown out in San Francisco, or maybe I thought I saw something about that from you, but maybe not.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I know I didn't post that, but I saw some people posting that.
Yeah.
People writing to me.
So there was that kind of stuff. And just, 70-mile-per-hour winds were happening. And it was just, it's not normal for here. I mean, if you're living in, certain parts of the country, that's really typical. Living in California, you're pretty used to kind of, mild climate. So it's just been kind of crazy.
JD Glad says, Al, you look great on YouTube. You do what you want, though.
Yeah, so I am pushing myself to get back into more with Twitter, but I've actually enjoyed getting onto Mastodon a little bit. I did some
I haven't really been using it. You're using Mastodon, which is like a Twitter alternative thing.
So I was using it a lot when I first started on it. I kind of slowed down, but I get alerts every day that new people are following me. So it seems like there's still people joining it and following. So I really should push myself to get back on it, because I kind of like that it's decentralized a little bit. So it's not one group being able to kind of blanket ban people.
Right, because you join a server, right? And there's different servers.
And in theory, the server can make a rule and ban people, but then if you get banned, you could go to another server.
Right.
And now different servers can ban other servers from seeing it. So there might be servers that are, white nationalist servers, for example. Other servers can say, we're not going to allow people from that to be seen in our server.
Okay.
So it's interesting. I don't feel like I fully understand. I think it's a little bit technical for me, but I think I did a lot of research when I first got onto it.
I used it a little bit like when all that stuff was happening with Twitter, where like people thought it was going to like go out of business or whatever, and there were a lot of people getting banned. I started using it some then, and it's like you. It's like I don't really understand all of it. I understand way less than you, but it was fun to use. But I believe there's like certain people who are like over there all the time now. So Kangaroo Island. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I know like Steve Herman from Voice of America really went over there after he was suspended because he had chosen not to take down the post that they had told him to take down, and so he elected to mainly post over there. Who's a very good account to follow.
Kangaroo Island TV says, I have been using and enjoying Mastodon. I will have to follow you. I am still off Twitter. Ooh, Kangaroo Island TV. Kangaroo Island TV, where are you on Mastodon? And Al, where are you on Mastodon for our Mastodon? For any of our viewers who might use Mastodon.
I will look at what my... It's more complicated because it's at the, it's the whole address.
Can you like type it out with the word at in it or something?
Yeah. Will it work if I post it in the chat?
If you don't say it as a website, if you say like type out the words, Alonzo Hall is here. Let's see. Derek One Way Street says more rain for San Francisco on Tuesday. Sean, New Year background was the I think Sean. That's Sean. Is that a typo, or is there some kind of like joke there? He said his background picture is the Paxidica Pier. Does that sound like a typo, or is that?
That sounds like a typo to me.
I don't know though. Sean is a precise man. Oh, he says typo. I know Sean's precise was
Pacifica Pier. That's the Pacifica Pier.
That's what he meant.
Which a lot of times when there are storms in the area, a lot of the news local news go out to, over by the pier, and that's where they broadcast from, because you can see the waves and all that. You know, when you live in an area, probably with like LA, where you don't get a lot of weather, they have to find little places that, oh, look, there's a slight flooding here because we don't get much. So you have to find somewhere that looks like it's a little bit.
So Al, you cover. I mean, you follow news and you've covered news, and I know you keep up with the news a lot now. Pretty quiet news week. I mean, it was so busy. I mean, there's always stuff going on, but like compared to February when it was like nonstop, in the last week it hasn't been like that busy. Although I think with Trump stuff it'd make it busier pretty soon. But is there anything you've been following a lot lately, Al, or not?
Yeah, I think the Trump thing is kind of what I'm keeping an eye on.
Yes.
That's obviously coming down the line. I'm a big presidential and election junkie, so already getting into the 2024 cycle, just seeing how all that plays out is really interesting.
DeSantis Trump is going to be interesting.
It really is. It really is. And then there's obviously, it looks like Biden's running again. A lot of people, including a lot of Democrats, don't think he should. It's interesting that,
but he hasn't announced.
What's that?
He hasn't announced yet, right?
Correct.
Officially.
But it looks like, I mean, even the First Lady Jill Biden in an interview when she was abroad did say that it was pretty much just awaiting the announcement.
Yeah. By the way, Lark Sporadic says you have a great voice for news, Al.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Alibaba says the main term is to watch the bank system right now. Yeah, I know Credit Suisse got bought today, which is like a kind of a big, it's an important thing. I didn't really want to cover it. I just didn't, it wasn't really, it's important, and I read some articles about it. I just didn't really feel like it was, I didn't know if I was going to say that much about it anyway. I'd be like, this big bank got bought out. But anyways, Aldo, like, our viewers know this. The viewers of this channel, a lot of the viewers of this channel know this. People get very fat. Whenever we are forced to cover politics on agenda-free TV, we have a lot of very passionate viewers, right. Especially when we cover something about Trump. We have not covered, though. I don't know if we cover something about like DeSantis. I have no idea like how many of our viewers are going to be pro-Trump and how many of them are going to be pro-DeSantis. I do not know what the chat's going to look like if we cover something with DeSantis. Sarah says passionate, Sarah, our moderator, but that'll be interesting to see because we have not done that yet.
Yeah, I have a theory how that would personally I have a theory how that would go in the chat, but it would be interesting to see.
You're not sharing your theory with us.
I mean, I don't know if you want me to. I think a lot of your viewers may have known you from past things you worked with, and so they may be a little bit more towards one side of that.
Right, but you don't. I mean, do you think there might be some people who voted for Trump last time who might be like supporting DeSantis? That's not, like, I don't know if there's people who switched over.
I think there are, but I think that a lot of, one thing I can say about Trump is that he has some of the strongest support of his supporters that they just will not budge from supporting him that I've ever in politics. So I think the majority won't, but I think a lot may have realized, or there might be some portion that have realized that maybe DeSantis might be more electable. So I've seen, polling that seems to show that, but
are we going to see a DeSantis Trump debate? Imagine our chat during a DeSantis Trump debate, guys. Mods, imagine it, mods.
I feel for your mods if you cover that. I think it's I mean, it's just
Linda Gordon says everybody is crazy, they will be crazy.
Yeah, and I think it's so many people. If you're young enough in the field, like you could run in 4 or 8 years, you may just decide not to even get in now, because the idea of running against Trump could put you off to where some part of that party may never support you.
Right.
If you run against him.
Right.
So they might say, somebody who's a little bit younger in their, 50s or 60s even may decide not to run this time. Well, and then there are people like Nikki Haley who hasn't even said Trump's name.
Right.
She is choosing how she's doing it and kind of trying to stay out of that.
Bastion Girl says, who's a mod, says, she posted like a picture of a dog weeping, a teary-eyed puppy. Let's see. Patty says there will definitely be ardent fans. Debbie Smurthwaite says, you're going to need more mods. Linda Belk, one of our mods, says, I'll be hiding under the bed. It's going to be crazy.
And I think it's hard when you do things like I think both you and I do, Steve, where we're trying to provide just very straightforward news.
Right.
And it's just like, and then I think there are people from both sides that always try to come in, be pushing their agenda, right? Agenda free TV. And so it's just like, it's hard to show them. It's like, we're not coming from any agenda. We're just trying to come in the middle. This is what's actually happening. And it may not look good for your specific partisan side on everything.
And then then you'll cover something like that, and then you'll look in the chat and you'll be like, oh my gosh, what's going on there? Hey, if Trump gets indicted this week and we cover that, get ready mods for that chat. Oh my gosh.
I was going to ask you if you plan to.
I mean, look, I think there's whatever you think of Trump, I think there's a really good chance. I think the most likely scenario is that he's going to get indicted 3 different times. He's going to get indicted in New York. He's going to get indicted in Georgia, and I think he's going to get federally. And there's going to be I think maybe him, but if not, maybe somebody who works for him in the classified documents thing. So it's like, and that's whatever you think of Trump. I think it just the writing's on the wall that could happen. So I mean, it'll just be crazy. And of course, I mean, it's big news if it happens. No former president has ever been charged with a crime, as far as I'm aware. So. It could get that. These could be all coming in the next few weeks or at least a couple of months or something. So yeah, and then I'm sure he'll be saying things about it if he is. Who knows what his reaction will be.
Well, the new the Manhattan case obviously could come as early as this week.
Yeah,
and obviously there was the post he made on Truth Social back yesterday. Kind of urging people to take to the streets if it happens, and he predicted Tuesday. His campaign or his team then later said that he hasn't been told anything, but for some reason he said Tuesday, which will be interesting if it does turn out to be Tuesday. How did he know it would be Tuesday? If that was leaked to him or that information was given to him, or if that was just kind of his theory of it.
It's interesting because like he's been through so much. You point out, like, he posted that stuff, and I'm sure he'll have strong thoughts if he gets indicted. But like, he's been through a lot. He got impeached and everything. He was president for all these years, but he's never been. Has he ever been charged with a crime in his life?
Not to my knowledge.
I mean, so it's like different. Like his reaction might be even different than all the other reactions because it's like he will, regardless of what you think of the charges, he very well might get brought in and fingerprinted and charged with a crime this week. And so who knows how he'll react to that.
I feel like a lot of people in his orbit have been arrested and charged over the years, but I don't think he's ever gotten. I know he's been obviously sued many times.
Sure, but
civil charges. But yeah, obviously that's very different. I'm sure his attorneys have spoken at length with him about what it would all look like and have given him their own advice on how to react publicly. Whether he follows that is up to him.
I saw this thing, Al, like an article said, like it's unclear whether if he was charged, he would do a news conference after. And I'd cover that, so. Artist says he has never been charged with a crime. This is the first time for him. So like if it does happen, there could be lots of news going on in various ways to cover. So.
Yeah, I think the question is, do people take to the streets? Are there a lot of protests? I think there'll be some, definitely. And yeah, but I've also seen the argument by a lot of people that something like this will only make his base stronger and it will actually help him secure the nomination. Politics are interesting.
But so it could be as soon as this week. I'm convinced it's going to happen on Wednesday because I have an eye doctor appointment on Wednesday, and I feel like it's going to happen during my eye doctor appointment.
If it happened like an hour before your eye doctor, would you cancel?
No, I would just skip the appointment. And my appointment's pretty close to home, but I'm gonna alert. There's certain people who can call the emergency call line. They're allowed to call me when there's news. And Al, you should be on that line. if you want to.
Yeah.
Al, I think you have my number. Al, if ever there's like a huge event and you don't see me covering it, feel free to call me and like wake me up or something, because
Okay.
But I'm convinced I'll be like 10 minutes into the appointment and like there'll be 20 minutes left and I'll get a phone call and I'll have to run out of the appointment mid-appointment to go cover it. That's what I think is going to happen.
That's yeah. I've been there where like I fall back when I was covering news so much, you know, I fall asleep finally, and I wake up and realize, oh, this thing happened 10 minutes after I fell asleep. And you know, I wake up 6 hours after it happened.
Well, that's why I instituted the emergency wake Steve up system. Although, if I'm right, I don't know whether I have ever covered anything that I was woken up for yet. It's going to happen at some point.
Have you had people call you to wake you up?
Yes, and there's been several times people woke me up, and they were important. There was always important stories, but for one reason or another, I didn't cover it. But there's always people are waking up for important things, and sometimes it's like right on the edge. But it's going to happen. But the system is in place now. Hey, if anybody wants to ask Al anything about news, or just you can ask Al about Pacifica, right? Al, you know about the Bay Area?
Also,
are there any random areas of expertise or interest, Al, that you want to be asked about?
In grad school to become a therapist.
That's really interesting.
In a month.
You what in a month?
Mental health.
What in a month?
What do you say?
You said what is happening in a month?
I start seeing clients in a month.
Oh my gosh, guys! Al is in school to become a therapist, which is amazing, and he's going to actually start seeing clients in a month. I can't. Wow, that's pretty intense. Are you excited or nervous?
I am. It's still it's my traineeship as part of my grad school program. So it's still while I'm in school, but I have to do like 300 hours while I'm in school. And so it'll be interesting. I don't know that I'm very nervous, but it's definitely going to be a bit much at first, kind of transitioning into that world. I've worked on, suicide prevention hotlines before. I did that for 6 years.
Wow.
So I can't imagine there'll be too much that's stronger than that.
How'd you get into doing that?
I've always been kind of somebody who really was kind of an empathetic person. I've always had that trait. And so I've always just wanted to help people. I think growing up, I was like, I'm going to become a teacher. And then it really turned into, okay, what about a therapist? And so they had this thing when I was in high school, which was like a teen chat room that was like kind of suicide prevention and crisis support chat room online. And so I volunteered for that. And then that turned into me becoming a supervisor there and things like that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's great. Well, congrats, Al. I look forward to hearing about it. I know you can't share personal stuff, but maybe the general impressions. By the way, Al, speaking of, you mentioned this before, Stanford game, guys. Upset alert, guys. If you turn on your TV, Stanford is one of the best college women's teams in the country, and they are now losing with 23 seconds left. So, Al, do you have it on there?
I do not anymore.
All right. I think of all the people watch this broadcast, I'm the only one with it on. There's like 20 seconds left, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say play by play. I think it might violate copyright. So I'll say that they just took a timeout, and the game's going to be over in like a minute, and we'll see what happens. Linda Gordon says, "I did teaching and counseling. Good thing you skipped teaching." Wow.
Yeah. So I'll comment on that. That was my plan. I did work as a para educator within a high school last year, and it's just wild how much it changed even the 10 years since I was in high school. I was in high school 10 years ago, and it's just schools have totally changed. Our school that I worked at was the district had a policy that you couldn't give D's or F's to students. And that you couldn't assign homework. And it just seems like it had changed so much. And I think a lot of those things were because it was, post-COVID. And so they tried to prioritize mental health of students, which I agree with. But at the same time, it didn't seem like any of these kids were learning anything or trying. And it just made it was tough.
Al, hold on 1 second. Hold your thoughts. I want to hear you. Stanford has the ball. Stanford has the ball, and they just lost the ball. So I didn't want to be distracted when you were talking. So for those of you watching, Mark French is watching. I know one of you, Mark French. And Stanford lost the ball. This would be a huge update. There's 16 seconds left. Let's see here. Then we'll get back to Al. Let's see. Unless they took a timeout, which I'll continue with Al. Now, how long did you teach for?
That role where I was actually working in a high school was only a few months.
Okay. Okay.
But before that, I worked at a community college. I was working in a few different roles at a community college, helping run a program and stuff like that. That was a lot better. But I feel like the thing, once you get into the college range, you're working with mostly adults who actually want to be there versus,
right.
The majority of high school students don't. Even though the school itself, the kids were really good at this high school. I really loved working with some of these kids, and it was a really interesting school. It's a school that is like a performing arts school, so the kids had to audition to get into the school, but their focus was their arts stuff and not the academics. So
Sarah, by the way, says, I coach high school for color guard, and it's so different. She says the high schoolers are so different now. They now hold summer school over winter and spring breaks to catch up the juniors and seniors.
That doesn't surprise me. I don't know how these kids are going into college with any ability to handle the coursework, because in my experience, the colleges really aren't changing their curriculum. The high schools are. So it's interesting to see. It's interesting to see if they're prepared once they get into a college environment. I knew I wanted to help. I started realizing that I think my passion I really want to work with that age range, adolescents. But I think my passion wasn't as much helping them academically, but as far as their mental health. So it was a lot easier. I enjoyed, just having conversations with them about life more than I enjoyed.
That's cool. That's really cool.
So this field is probably better suited for me.
Erica says that's so tough. Like, some kids do so much sports and activities. That's definitely a difference from when I was a kid. Kids specialize way more. In the sports stuff, there's all these traveling teams, and there's like they play on these outside teams. They're practicing so many days of the week, and I've seen that. It's not as casual as it used to be. By the way, I forgot to mention, Ole Miss. I forgot that Stanford's playing Ole Miss. The ball went out of bounds, and for the last 3 minutes, they've been trying to decide who it went off of. So the game is not over yet. Let's see here. Hang on a second here. So if anybody's interested, guys, could be a very big update. Is upset in college basketball. If anybody has any Pacifica questions for Al, JD Glad says Al seems to have a great personality for helping others. Sounds like a great path for him. I think you'll be great, Al. I do think you're a very empathetic person, and I think people will like having you as their therapist. But you never know what people like. But I would think they would.
I appreciate that. I know that was something I think you and I could relate on back when we were both covering news. I think there were a number of times we were messaging about, like, just as far as the stress and maybe the mental health component of what we do when we're being attacked constantly on social media, or people coming in a certain way. And I think that's something that people don't realize, is just how
a lot of negativity. A lot
of professions, if you're public, anything public, you're being attacked constantly. It really can have an effect on you.
I can't imagine, like, people who are like real celebrities, how much negative they read. The Stanford game, just as an update, they're about to start again. There's 16 and a half seconds. I think 2 viewers are watching it. I think Mark French is watching it and Sam Stamos. Linda wants to know, Al, where's Pacifica in relation to San Francisco?
About 10 minutes south.
South, okay.
Just south. It's on the coast. Right on the coast, right on the beach. Yeah. It's very, very, very close, though. I was living in San Francisco last time I did the call-in, for anybody who was watching then, which was January of last year. I was in San Francisco then, but I've since moved back to Pacifica. Barbara D is watching the game, and Terry is watching the game. So, like, 4 of us are watching the game. There's been like a
10-minute break while they decide who has the ball, but I think they almost did. Joel Meyer says, imagine how thick your skin must be as a politician. It's hard. I mean, Al and I have talked about this. It's hard just reading the negative comments under your tweets. It's really like, it can like really mess with you. Oh, Sean TV says, does Al surf?
I don't. I'm not. It's weird because I'm live so close to the water and everything. I'm not super outdoorsy. Hiking is about as much as I'll do, but no, I don't surf. I have no hand-eye coordination or balance, so that would be bad.
I have also never surfed. Hey guys, so Stanford is the game is resuming. There's 16 seconds left. I think Stanford's going to try to foul Ole Miss as soon as they get the ball in, unless Ole Miss turns it over. Ole Miss has not got, they fouled them. Okay, so 1 second went off the clock. Foul. Very nice. And let's see here. I'm just looking here. One Way Street says, I would be watching, but you're keeping me updated. Yeah, no, it's normally in like a normal job, you don't have people like writing negative comments to you all the time and telling you what an idiot you are.
Go ahead if you have a game.
I was going to say, Sean says, I surf Pacifica sometimes, but it gets really crowded these days.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there. I think you need to know the right beaches and the right areas of Pacifica that aren't, as crowded. But those may not be the places that have good waves. So, but as far as just if you want to go down to the beach, kind of like anywhere you live, there are the areas that are very touristy, and then there are the areas that the locals know. So yeah, but about the mental health of being in the news profession and posting to social media, it is absolutely awful. I have a friend of mine that I'm back working with doing some other news writing stuff who had worked with me before, and he was saying just how much better he felt after we lost the Twitter, just because he didn't have to see that stuff all day.
Yeah, it's hard to just see it, to just see negative comments. Even if like people will say, well, you shouldn't care about what that person is saying, but just reading it is hard.
It really is. And I, for a while, was playing the whole game of I want everybody to like me. I want every single person to want to follow me.
Not going to happen.
People think, which is you cannot do.
No. So, by the way, it's a 4-point game. Right? Ole Miss by 4, yes. And Stanford has the ball with 15 seconds left, and they just took a timeout, and they're going to pass it in. This would be a huge upset, guys. Most people do not care about this, but it would be a big upset.
A random fact that I'm sure less people care about than even the score of this game is that this I was looking at ESPN earlier, and there's a single person that still has a perfect bracket for the women's bracket, and they predicted Stanford would win this game, so there would be no more perfect brackets for the women if they lost.
How about men? Does anyone have a perfect one for the men anymore on ESPN?
I think that went away. That went away on Friday.
Wow.
But there's one single one left for the women.
Terry D24 says, words do hurt. Billy Joe Dre says, not wrong, Terry. Okay, so the Stanford's about to pass the ball in, guys. Hang on. We're on upset watch here at... hold on. Guys, Al got cut off. We'll go to Al for a second. Hang on. Ole Miss stole the ball. Ole Miss stole the ball, guys, and I think they're going to win. So Al got cut off because I got to start another Zoom meeting. So let me just get back. I'll get Al back. I got to text Al. Al's probably watching right now. Zoom just like will cut off the meeting after a certain amount of time because I'm not like a member. So I want to get Al back for a couple more minutes. Hang on. So so just so you know, guys. Oh, Ole Miss missed a free throw. There's 10 seconds left. Ole Miss missed a free throw. They're up by 4 points. This would be a huge upset, but they just missed a free throw. Then we'll go back to Al. This is a big free throw. Will they go up by 5 or 4? They're up by 5. 10 seconds left. 9, 8, 7, 6. They got to shoot it soon. She missed it. That's the game. That's going to be the game. That's going to be the game. Wow. Huge upset, guys. Huge upset. What a big upset this is. Oh, see, it says join a live Zoom demo. Anyways, I'm going to get back to Al in a second. I assume Al can hear me. Oh, there you go. That's the game. Wow. What incredible. Big upset. K from Mississippi. K, you don't like Ole Miss? K, people at Ole Miss are going to be celebrating. K, maybe you can go out to the Ole Miss party. I guess Ole Miss isn't that near you, K? Gosh. What a big upset that is. Oh, is there... Jonah Cat says there's another potential upset brewing. Terry says this helps my Yukon women. So congrats to Ole Miss. Ole Miss women's team. Kay says, I do not like Ole Miss. Hold on. Then we'll get back to L. Gonzaga's up by 7 points, guys. Let's not go crazy here. Yeah, Caitlin Clark from Iowa is really good. All right, I'm going to get Al back real quick. Then we're going to open Vicky's package. Is Vicky still here? I want to open Vicky's package. Let's see here. Hang on one moment. Crazy. We'll go to Al now. We'll finish up with Al, and then we'll go to Vicky's package if she's still here. Thanks, Al, for bearing with the upset watch. Here we go. Okay. We don't really do sports much here at Lookner Channel, but tonight we were on upset watch. Okay, here we go. I just messaged Al. Hang on, folks. Trying to get this started up here. There we go. Terry says it's fun when we do. Once in a while. Once in a while. Did Vicky Freeman leave? Maybe Vicky Freeman came by and I was like, Vicky, we're going to open your package. Did she say anything? I should do a quick news check too while I have a second here. Give me a sec, guys. I see Al. Al, can you hear me? Al, can you hear me? Let's see. There's Al. Al, we can't hear you. Why can't I hear you? Hold on. I am not hearing you, Al. But maybe it's the problems on my end. But I don't think it is. Oh, I know what it is, Al. My fault. It is on my end.
It is.
Okay, Al's back. Thank you, Al.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Al is back. So thanks, Al, for bearing with us. I know we were interrupted by Upset Watch. But we talked about some news. We talked about Pacifica. We talked about your therapy grad school. It's very exciting. We talked a little about surfing. Anybody have any random questions for Al while we have Al on the line? One of my friend Al and one of our viewers and chatters. We'll see what random things people have to say, Al.
Random thing. I was just watching the World Baseball Classic. If anybody's been watching that.
Ooh, I didn't watch it. I heard it was pretty spirited, though.
Yeah, U.S. Won in the semifinals. They're on to the finals to face either Japan or Mexico.
But I get the impression the players like really care about it, right?
Yes,
Yeah, that seems
yes,
cool.
and there's been some injuries and a lot of
Yes,
people making the
yes.
argument that, oh, should this not happen? But then
Hmm.
these players are saying, some of these players are saying it means more to them to compete in this than to win the World Series.
Crabsuit Lando says, "What's your favorite kind of apple?"
That is very random. Um, Apple, you said?
Apple.
Okay.
Do you eat apples?
Yeah, like
Yellow, green, red,
I was
Macintosh,
I was gonna go
delicious.
more specific and say like a Granny Smith.
Oh, okay, okay, nice. I can't find. That's a good choice.
I don't really pay much attention to the type of apple I buy, though, to be perfectly honest. I
Okay,
do like apples.
I like good yellow ones. It's kind of hard to get good yellow ones, but when they're good, they're very good. Dragonfire says, "Do you play Minecraft?"
I do not.
Maurice Harper, what is Al's name in the chat? It is
Uh, Albo,
Albo. That's what it is. Let's see here. Any other random questions for Al? I
which
like
I
the
will
random
say,
questions.
Steve, I appreciated from the very first time you said my name when you were reading one of my news tweets. You knew how to pronounce Bo, which some people do not. So
I guess I guessed right.
you
I
guessed
guessed
right.
right.
I mean, some people say, I've heard Bowie, Boa. I heard Bow once, which I don't know
Ooh,
how BOE becomes Bow, but it's
cool.
interesting.
Let's see here. Al, do you play World of Warcraft? Says Lisk.
Once again, no.
What are you? Darren asked, what are your favorite news topics? Is there news that you most like to follow or cover?
Yeah, I would say really, I think I get an adrenaline rush with breaking news of any
That's
kind.
right. Yeah, when it's like going on and it's
Yes.
happening and it's changing. Yeah, I think
Yes.
my favorite streams to cover are when we can actually cover stuff that's going on and developing while we're covering it.
Live updates. That's why I became really loving what BNO News was doing back in, like I said, 2007, when they were the first big news account on Twitter. Got involved with them and then just kind of continued with that.
Hmm.
Had some really amazing opportunities in my career, though. I worked with, I think, name dropping here, David Begnaud at Aura TV before he went to CBS News. Was
Hmm.
he was essentially my mentor there, and I think I learned a lot of that, what I know
That's
from
very cool.
him. So I just want to mention him. I know you do use some of his stuff, Steve.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
great.
he's great.
Yeah.
JD Glad says, "What kind of music do you like, Al?"
Yeah, so I would say I listen to a lot of like alt rock or alt pop. My favorite band is a band called AJR that probably nobody in
Boy,
the
I've never heard of them. I'll have to listen to them. AJR, I'll write that down.
Yeah, I've went and seen them in concert like four times. Their listenership is probably a lot of people from the age of like 15 to 30, so it skews younger. They write a lot of songs about being like in your 20s and just starting to kind of
Okay,
come into the world. But I really like them. I've gotten to meet them a few times in like VIP types of experiences.
I
When I
will look them
first,
up.
my very
Yes.
first time going to their concert, they played in like I think the capacity of that venue was like 1,000, and then the last time I saw them this past year, they had 10,000
Oh
people
wow,
fill that
nice,
venue. So they've grown, and I really am proud of what they've done. And so I
nice. Maverick says, "Have you ever tried cotton candy grapes?" I've never tried cotton candy grapes.
yes, I have.
Do they taste like cotton candy?
So I'm gonna say yes, but then afterwards I started tasting or like eating regular grapes, and then to me they also were
Oh,
tasting
that's
like
it. Well,
cotton
there you go.
candy.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't know if it was actually that they did or that all grapes kind of taste like cotton candy to me. Random. Another fact is sometimes I drink like mango juice, and to me it tastes like pickle juice.
Hmm.
So just something my taste buds do. I don't know why.
K
Other random
bodies.
fact is that I do not like mayonnaise. I will not eat anything with mayonnaise on it.
Hmm. That is interesting. I
Throwing
don't like mayonnaise, but I like it in tuna fish. But that's the only. Otherwise, I hate it. Kay says they do taste like cotton candy. Cindy J says, "I thought you tried them once." It's possible that on one of our streams at some point I tried cotton candy grapes and I just forgot. And let's see here. We have a question from Kuda Brown says, "Al, did you have a slot car racing track like I did, Al, when you were younger?"
I seem to recall having something like that. I don't think it was a big part of my childhood, but I seem to recall having one of those. I know I loved some of the like Hot Wheels cars when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
I remember liking the ones that were like an ambulance or like a fire truck or the different things that were a little bit different or like a tow truck. Um, so I remember that. I think I had a slot car thing, but I don't fully remember.
Fair enough. Derek says Popeyes, spicy chicken, or Chick-fil-A's.
I'm actually a mild chicken fan. I don't usually get the spicy chicken.
My Oh, I thought you said my old chicken, like it was like it was a new like a chicken chain. My old chicken, but you said mild chicken.
Yeah, like not spicy.
Oh, I was hoping there was a local chicken chain called My Old Chicken.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
Sorry about that. But I think it's because I know, like, for example, Popeyes, their spicy chicken, the way it becomes spicy is because of the like mayo that they use. And so obviously for me, that doesn't
Cynthia
matter.
Riley, Cynthia Moon and Raven Riley like Popeye spicy.
But I do really like Popeyes chicken sandwich without mayo. So just the pickles and um the chicken, but I recently have started eating Chick-fil-A more because they got one near me, and I actually might be slightly addicted to it. I have an issue.
I never really liked Chick-fil-A. Never really liked it. I like chicken.
Interesting.
Never got on board. Pineapple Chunk says, "Who's your favorite Pokemon?" I don't know anything about Pokemon, so I couldn't answer this question myself.
Yeah, this question would be much better for my girlfriend. She like grew up on all the Pokemon games and loves it. Me personally, I never really got into them. I played Pokemon Go a little bit, like when that was a
I
big
did
thing.
that like for one day, I think.
It got me out of the house more. I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
that.
Jay John says, other than message boards, chats, what can be rewarding versus stressors in the news business? Well, what did you find? What did you find rewarding, Al? Any moments you thought were really rewarding when your news coverage?
Um, I would say one was just that I was actually able to make a living out of it for a long
Yeah,
time.
good for you. Yep,
And
that's a
I
big
think,
deal.
yeah, I was able to just doing something that for me at that point was a hobby, especially in like my teen years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was really that appreciative of that. There's also the truth, and a lot of people mention this, that I think there is a little, dopamine boost when or something you post gets spread and it
Yeah,
gets thousands of retweets or something. So
and you're getting information out to people. Yeah,
it absolutely, getting
yeah,
information out to people is 100% the
yep,
goal.
yep,
And I
yep.
really do appreciate that because there's a lot of stuff that's misinformation or people weren't getting, and so I appreciated being able to get that news out to people, and seeing people appreciating it really did mean something to me.
Yeah, I agree. If you can, yeah, if you feel like you're getting stuff out there and informing people, that's really cool. It's like the best thing. And cool. Well, Al, you have persisted through update through what am I thinking? Upset update. So I appreciate that. Always good to talk to you. And let's see if there's anything else. I think we got to all the questions. So maybe yes, you look like you're gonna add something else. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I think I didn't mention it. I have been doing some writing on a certain news app, which I did tell you about,
Oh,
Steve,
yes,
but
mention that.
unfortunately I just want to mention in case anybody uses this app so they kind of know what's going on behind the scenes. It's one of the most popular news apps in the App Store. It's called Newsbreak, all one word.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they have kind of changed how they're uh, what they're paying for their publishers, and they are very quick to, you could be doing really well one day and then they choose, so you're making almost nothing the next day, and that's happened to all three of the accounts I've run on there, and a lot of people are experiencing that. So
Ugh.
it's a good app as far as it having a lot of people, but the management has been has not been great recently.
Are you talking to other people there who are, and all that? And all that
Yeah,
stuff,
there are some forums that the people who are publishers on there come together, and it's happening to everybody, and they're just not responding.
Sarah says I can't stand that app anymore. No, I've seen what your stuff on there. That's the only time I've ever used it is with your stuff. So I'm not up to date on it. But yeah, that kind of stinks. It stinks if you're doing something and it's getting paid this much, and then all of a sudden it stops getting paid that much.
Well, yeah, I think it's a platform just like Twitter or YouTube or all these things, and I think as well as anybody, Steve, any of these platforms can just kind of change something any day. Twitch did that to you. YouTube, I'm not sure. I'm sure from some of your stuff might be suddenly like, oh, this is demonetized.
Yep.
And it's just, and then it's almost impossible to ever get answers about it or actually understand what their rules are.
Maverick wants to know, what major news event do you remember, Al?
I mean, I remember most. I feel like I have a very good memory of a lot, but I would say one of the biggest, I would say, from earlier on in my career was 2011, the Fukushima earthquake.
Wow. So you actually covered that, because I was just glued to the internet and TV. I was up when it happened. I was up late. I was in LA. And for days, I was just glued to coverage, but I wasn't covering news at that time. But just a horrible event, and so crazy and just stunning. It is one of my most memorable events I've followed as a human being, was that event.
I would say, if I remember it probably best for the actual sickness I felt in my stomach watching some of those videos and knowing how many people were losing their lives.
Yep.
I actually felt physically ill from how horrible it was. And so I don't think I'll ever forget that. I also remember things like Michael Jackson's death. I was working for BNO News at the time. They were the first one to break that news.
Wow.
And so I remember the big stuff around that and just how crazy that was and all that coverage. But yeah, obviously 2017, the Las Vegas shootings was
also
probably the worst mass shooting I've ever covered. I think you probably agree, Steve.
Yeah, I don't know that I've covered anything like that. I mean, it's one of the biggest. I don't know the exact numbers, but the numbers are just crazy, and it was just also really crazy because you didn't know what was going on. There was all this shooting, and no one knew what was happening. So yeah.
And then there's all this stuff, and obviously COVID was just insane, even though I wasn't covering things quite as much. And then I think it's really sad that things like Ukraine don't get the attention they did at the beginning, because people have such short attention spans for news. And it's like there's still very sad things happening there on a daily basis, and it's not getting, people aren't paying attention like they did at the beginning.
Now, I'm sure we'll end up covering that more, because there's going to be new developments in that and all that. So we'll be on it. All right, Al, so nice of you to call in. And I appreciate your friendship. Al and I often talk about new stuff off the air, and Al's a very helpful person to be able to talk to because he has such experience in it. So he's a good friend and helpful. And Sean says he still looks up Ukraine news every day. I do too, Sean. I do too. But Sarah says, thanks so much, Albo. Yeah, Al, really appreciate it. Thanks for calling in and for continuing to discuss news stuff with me on and off the air. And good luck with seeing your first clients, I guess, or first.
Yeah.
Are they called clients if you're in school? So your first clients in therapy. Wow, big deal. So I'm sure you'll do great. Everybody's saying, but can you see the chat, Al?
I can. Yeah, I appreciate everyone. And as Steve said earlier, just randomly, if anybody's looking for a fantasy baseball league, I'm definitely.
They need one more person in their fantasy baseball league. And I told Al was kind and he invited me, and I said, I do fantasy football and that's it. Because I know I would put too much time to baseball, so I've always avoided doing baseball. But if anybody out there is looking for a fantasy baseball league, they need one person. Al, where can people reach you on social media? What's the best social media or email? Or what's the best way to reach you?
You know what? Actually, if anybody wants to reach out to me by email, I'll just give my email.
Okay, what is it? I'll type it in the chat.
Yeah, livealbo, so LIVEALBOE @gmail.com.
Okay.
So it's just my name with live before it.
Okay, that got posted. I don't know if Twitch will post an email address. I think YouTube will. Yes, livealbo, albo@gmail.com. Well, there you go.
But yeah, if anybody wants to reach out about the Fantasy Baseball League or with any other questions, feel free.
Awesome. Al, thank you. Good seeing you. And I'm sure I'll see you in the chat very soon, probably in like 5 seconds or whatever.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Al. Appreciate
take care,
it.
everybody. Thank you.
Bye, Al.
Bye.
That was nice of Al to call in. I really like talking to Al. Let's see. Hold on. I got to fix the audio now. Whenever I get off, audio has to get fixed. Okay, that got fixed. You know, I really, Al is somebody who, like, there's not many people. Hold on. I know, you know, oh, hold on. I paused. Hey, thanks for everybody for your kind words about Al. You know, I know it's a little different. Sometimes it's a little different when we have somebody calling in general. And then when, like, if Al calls in, I'm going to want to talk about news with him and stuff. And it's a little more serious than we normally do. But I think it's cool. And it's like, there's not many people who, like, do what I do. Like, Al was doing what I do in a sense before I did it. But if I want to, like, talk about work stuff, there's, like, very few people. There's, like, maybe 3 people I talk to who do the same thing. And Al is one of those people. So it's great to have somebody who, like, you know, knows what you're talking about. And things will come up and I'll text Al about it or something. Somebody will leave a comment under our Twitter or something and we'll text each other about it. Or somebody will make a YouTube comment and we'll text about it. So, you know, I know it's not as kind of, we're not like joking around all the time. The tone's a little different, but I really like talking to Al. And again, it's cool to talk to somebody about news who really does, who has done very similar work to me. So, you know, a little something different tonight. Kathy says, I enjoyed his last visit here very much several months ago. The conversation is interesting. Linda says, the kind of stuff I like. So, yeah, you know, I really enjoy talking to him. And, you know, it's also something a little different. A little different. We do things a little different sometimes here. Sometimes we're cooking. Sometimes we're talking to Al. Hey, we did basketball upset alert. By the way, so Vicky Freeman came in, and I was like, Vicky, I really want to open your package, and then she just left. So I can't open Vicky's package. She's not there anymore. F22 Raptor says different is good. Yeah, BZ says sometimes we're fixing toilets. One Way Street says it was good you shook it up a little like you wanted. Yeah, it just felt like, you know, also we've been doing, you know, normally we're not on this much. I mean, we've probably done like 5-6 streams in the past week. So it's good to do something a little different once in a while. Yeah, Vicky might have fallen asleep, to be fair. Ursula, I'm glad you liked it. But Vicky's package says consumable on it, guys. I think it's been here for like 2 months. I'm worried. And then I think maybe there might be something from MJ. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe we'll open one package. Sean says, how much time are you going to spend checking news futures after this stream? It depends. Now, Sean, I don't know what the deal is. I mean, I know that Credit Suisse got bought out, but I don't know, like, is anything that big going to happen today in the U.S.? I mean, the bank stocks might go down some, but First Republic stock is already way down. I don't know. The problem is if I stay up too late, then if I want to cover something during the day, I'll have to, I'll have no sleep. Oh yeah, we had live music on a couple days ago, as Ty M. Daly says. Zach was here. No, Trump, I don't think that's going to happen today. If him getting charged won't happen today because there's another There's another. Hang on a second. Let me turn this off. There's another witness who's going to be testifying to the grand jury in that trial in the Manhattan Trump investigation on tomorrow. They're going to actually have somebody testify. So I don't believe he's going to get charged tomorrow if he gets charged. Sean says, I don't know either. That's why I can't stop checking. Sean says, don't they usually do those kind of arrests on Fridays? I just don't know. It sounds like he will get charged at some point, but this week? Maybe. We don't really know. Soon, supposedly, but I think it's going to be during my eye appointment. It'll be during my eye appointment. Yeah, his report, when he said it was Tuesday, he wasn't really basing that on anything reliable. All right, so we can't open. Al says my guess is this week or next week. We can't open Vicky Freeman's package, unfortunately. Maybe we'll open one other package. I have a couple things here. Linda says she will not be on that stream. She's going to be hiding under her bed. Hey, thanks, by the way, to all our moderators. Linda, Belk, K-Body, BZ. Oh, I think, Sean, what'll happen, from what I understand, is if Trump gets indicted, there'll be some kind of agreement between his lawyers and the authorities, and he'll go in himself voluntarily. They'll like fingerprint him or whatever. Then they'll let him go. He's not going to be sitting in a cell for a long time or anything. I'm sure it'll be all planned out. BZ, Linda Belk, K-Body are all modding right now. Raven Riley, Sarah, Bastion Girl, A Moment of Lovely. Very much appreciated. Yep. Yeah, he is shadowed by Secret Service 24/7, as Sean mentions. Let me grab a piece of mail. Let's open a late night package. Why not? Why not? Call Me Fat Jesus is here. It's kind of jarring that it's weird because like when we're covering news every day, it's like a very different existence. Now I'm kind of used to be on Lookner every day. It takes me a little while to get used to it. And then I'll get used to it, and then we'll start covering news all the time again. Hey, Kim Zink says, it was nice to meet Al. Appreciate you coming by, Kim Zink. All right, a couple of junk mail items here. This is from VCF in Ronkonkoma, New York. They sent this to my UPS box. VCF in Ronkonkoma. Ronkonkoma. Has anyone been to Ronkonkoma? Oh, I got a V. Oh, the VCF. It's this. You're right. Sean remembers. VCF it's a feminine product that we opened up before, and we got a sample of it, and I couldn't even talk about it on the air. VCF. So it's going to be the same thing. Yeah, it's the female whatever thing. Ronkonkoma is on Long Island. 19,000 people live there. It's like in the middle of Long Island, Ronkonkoma. How about that? Rick thinks the doctor will put eye drops in my eyes and I'll have to leave and my eyes will be blurry. Could happen, Rick. Yeah, this thing we're not opening. Okay, enough of that. Ronkonkoma. Yes, you're right. It's pronounced ron-conk-coma, says Kathy Moran. Ron-conk-coma. Concoma. Thank you, Al. I appreciate that, Al. Thank you. The feeling is mutual. All right, this next one is for, this is like a religious thing. I get like these religious mailings. I don't even know if I'm going to mention this. Yeah, I'm just putting this aside. This is just a religious thing, and it's a whole thing that I didn't ask for. Okay, ron-conk-coma. Yeah, I showed you the ron-conk-coma. No, ron-conk-coma. Ron-conk-coma. I'm saying ron-conk-coma. Ron-conk-coma. Oops. Ron-conk-coma. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got to get the banner off. My fault. Thanks, John. Ron-conk-coma. The name comes by the nearby Lake Ronkonkoma, which comes from an Algonquin expression meaning boundary fishing lake. Sean says famous people live in Ronkonkoma. Do they live there, or they grew up there, or I don't know. I don't know those people. I don't know them. Okay. All right, so I think this might be junk mail, but I don't know. This is from Sour Brands, S-A-U-E-R, and it says Duke's Mania. And I was looking at this box. I got at the UPS, and it does look like it looks like it's junk mail, but it looks like it's interesting junk mail. I hope it's not a letdown. Duke's Mania. Derek says they're not as famous as you. Then they're really not famous. Tom says it's mayonnaise. Sean says looks like an energy drink. Basic J thinks it's a coffee cup. Oh, is it Duke's mayonnaise? Oh, that's kind of a disappointment. I'm not a big mayonnaise fan. Is it really Duke's mayonnaise? Everybody's saying Duke's mayonnaise. Kuda keeps claiming he sent a fruitcake. We'll see. Oh, Eddie sent something. I'll do that after. Okay. Alibaba thinks it's a 4-jar sample pack of mayo. I wonder if it's a different tubes. It's from Sour Brands in Atlanta, Georgia. It is. I'm pulling it out of here. It's in here, guys. What is it? Sean says it's a lot of mayo for a sample. What in the world? They just sent me mayonnaise? I got sent mayonnaise. Duke's mayonnaise. It says Mayo Mania. It says, thanks for joining the fight. Now that you've got the Mayo Champ in your fridge, you can throw down on sandwiches and salads and maybe even discover your new signature baking move. Order from Duke's Mayo. Okay, 20%. So they just sent me a thing of mayonnaise, 8 fluid ounces. Best by October 30th, 2023. They literally just sent me mayonnaise. Actually, I don't think I have any mayonnaise in the house. I've never had Duke's mayonnaise. Darren says I wouldn't trust it. Kathy says, I'm surprised they sent it that way. Must be going after the Hellmann's or Best Foods people new in the region. I should make, I have tuna here. I haven't had tuna in a while. I should make some tuna at some point and have it. Duke's mayonnaise. Their website says they are the South's best contribution to a sandwich. Kathy Moran says Duke's and Hellmann's is like Coke versus Pepsi. I used to work for the company that owns Hellmann's. Oh, they sponsored a bowl game, right? Now, Linda Gordon says Duke's is fine. Rick says I have a hard time imagining a BLT without mayo. BZ says I can't believe people haven't heard of Duke's Mayo ALO. I've barely heard of it. We always had growing up Hellmann's. So I'll probably, when I moved here, I was eating a lot of tuna, and I had some extra can of tuna that made the move with me. And since then, I don't think I've opened them. I've been going away from tuna. I should go back to tuna. I like tuna. I don't know why I've been going away from it. I forgot about tuna the last few months. I forgot about tuna. Well, now I have no excuse because I have mayo here. Try it. Well, I'm not going to open it right now. Yeah, Sean says tuna is good, but don't eat too much because of mercury. So, like a year or two ago, I said on a stream, for a while I was eating tuna like 4 or 5 days a week. And then some of the viewers said, watch out for the mercury. I don't have Consumer Reports says, how worried should you be about mercury in your tuna? Tuna, like other types of fish, contains mercury, which can be toxic to adults and is of particular concern to children, infants, and especially pregnant people. Mercury is found throughout the ocean. It's present in every kind of fish you could choose to consume. Okay, mercury is a known neurotoxin. Fine. What does it say here? How many 5-ounce cans of tuna can you consume each week? Bumblebee albacore. It says don't eat more than 2 5-ounce cans of Bumblebee albacore tuna. Chicken of the sea albacore. Don't eat more than 1 5-ounce cans. 5 ounces is not that much. 5 ounces of tuna are the small cans. No, well, it's not the crazy small cans, but the smaller cans, not the big. There's these 12-ounce cans. So, yeah, I was eating way more than that for a while. I was eating it like 3-4 times a week, sometimes more. That's from Consumer Reports. This is for non-pregnant adults, that chart there from Consumer Reports. I used to do tuna in water, not oil. So I got some mayo. Our viewer on Twitch, Dio, says, I used to eat it straight from the can, no mayo, I was poor. I'm sure some people like doing it like that. I have to put mayo on it. Well, that was interesting. We're making really good progress on these on the packages, guys. I'm very excited. We really only have a couple packages left. Derek says, can't stand the oil. I'm going to check the news again. Why did they say pregnant people? Because I guess maybe there's more of a risk for pregnant people for mercury. Why is this happening? Tuna, like other kinds of fish, often contains mercury, which can be toxic to adults and is of particular concern to children, infants, and especially pregnant people. That is from Consumer Reports. From can to can, mercury levels can spike in unpredictable ways that might jeopardize the health of a fetus, says that person from Consumer Reports. Zach Cohen thinks that mackerel is a good alternative to canned tuna. Okay, so we did that. We covered that. Okay. Let's see if anything else I had in my notes here. I get a really, I know we started late the last couple of nights. If we stream, if there's no news the next couple of days and we stream, I'll start it earlier. We also have to do a stream on the. We really need to do this. We need to do a stream where I made tacos. We need to do a stream where we open the air fryer. Polly says in New Orleans we have blue plate mayo. Forsaken Companion says I would never eat mayo until I was in my 30s. Then I tried it and found it wasn't bad. Before that I ate tuna and ketchup. Linda says there will be news this week. Oh, you know what I should do? I've been telling you I was going to do. I was going to give a follow-up on the different tableware. Remember a few episodes ago I brought out 6 different types of tableware that I bought. I needed some forks and spoons. So I bought 6 different kinds from Amazon. 2 of them did not make the cut and I kept 4 of them. And I want to report back on how I feel about the 4 I kept. So let me go grab one, and let me go grab a couple items for you. Hold on. Yeah, I've been meaning to update you guys about this. So this is the follow-up on the different types of tableware. I'll post links. I gotta post the links to these. One moment. Get ready for links and thoughts on tableware. Okay, so if you guys remember, The 4 I kept were 1, the dark blue. Dark blue with rivets. I like tableware with handles. Dark blue with rivets. That's one of the ones I kept. 2 was white with rivets. But they're a bit thinner, different shape than the dark blue ones. The dark blue have a more rounded handle. These have like a kind of a rectangular handle. 3 was the light blue. Kind of hard to see. Kind of hard to see in this light, but this is light blue. You can see it there. And then 4 was American flag. So those were the 4. My update for you is that I'm going to keep all of them. I'm going to keep all 4 sets. 4 sets and I'm going to have keep 4 and I'm going to have a range. Every time I go to eat something, it's fun because I can choose which kind of silverware I want to use. So I think my top one, it's a tough choice. Basic J likes the blue. My top one is this one. The top one is, let me show you it. It's this one right here, the Anova. It's the white with rivets. And I'll tell you why I like it. Is that the right one? It's the white one with rivets. Where is it here? There it is. It's weird. They look like they're not. The picture's kind of is. That's the white one, but it's a mislead. That's like a picture of gray. Hold on. That's what it looks like. There's a picture of them. See? Sean does not like utensils with big handles, so I like the ones with handles. But these handles, they're not that big. So what I like about this is it's a sizable handle. It's not as big as the dark blue. The edges aren't sharp. The edges are not sharp. I like that shape, actually. I'm going to post the link to this. This is the white tableware with rivets. I just posted the link. Yes, you can dishwash all of them. They all go in the dishwasher, which is great. All right, so that I like this one. I find it comfortable to hold. It's not too heavy. The spoon head is pretty big. I think it looks nice. So that's going to be my number one. I have not tried to balance the spoon on my nose yet. Yes, Darren, like the silverware is like my toothpaste. I have a lot of choices. So that's number one. Number two, I think, is going to be the dark blue. Number two is going to be this one. I really like this one. I like how it looks. I like it has a nice big spoon head to get lots of cereal. It's just the handle's a little big. Yeah, 77 Pool Bop says agenda-free tableware choices. The handle is just a little bulky. I like it, but it's a little heavy, a little bulky. Nigel likes that one, so I'll post the link to that one. It's good. I really like it, but that's going to be number two, not number one. Oops, I'm posting it right now. There it is. Nigel says you can mix and match. I have not mixed and matched during a meal yet, but I will during the day. I will use different ones during the day. Yet the blue handles are more round than the white handles are. The white handles that I showed you before, it's kind of hard to see there, but those, see the lower right, see the white handles are not round, but they're not sharp. Again, you can put all these in the dishwasher or Santeria. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3 in my choice of 4, American flag. This is so fun. This is the most fun of all of them. The handle is just like flat on all the sides, but it's not bad. It's light. It's maybe a little too light, but they're really fun, the American flag ones. Like if I have a bowl of cereal or I have a salad and I use my American flag fork or spoon, it's like a party. It's an American party. So I think the American flag ones are fun. I'll post a link to them. Joel says you need a different flag for each country's cuisine. Here is the link to the American flag one. Look at that. American flag tableware. Okay. And I like all of these. I like all of them. I'm not sending any of them back. So the last one, number 4, but still good. Number 4, but still good, is the light blue. Light blue is number 4, but still good. I'm going to post a link to that one right there. The handle's a little funky shape, but it's kind of good to hold. It's ergonomic. When you hold on to the handle, you're like, oh, this makes sense. Mark Graham is posting news. Mark Graham is violating the rules. Oh, Basic J just ordered the dark blue ones, Basic J. By the way, as an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. So these ones, they're 4th. The big spoon has a little bit of a smaller spoon part at the top than the others. They're a little bit light, but they're really good looking and they're fun to hold on to. They're curved. It's okay, Mark Graham. Apology accepted. They're curved. So it's kind of cool to have curved tableware because it helps you grip it. Yeah, Oryxes are all nice. I like all of them. I'm happy with all 4 of these. I did not think I was going to keep 4 sets, but I just like having choices, and they're fun. And some days I want the dark blue. Some days I want the white with rivets. Some days I want American flag, and some days I want light blue, which you can't really see. Yeah, I can see there. So, yeah, I mean, I'm very happy. I'm happy with my purchases. Are they rubberized handles? All the handles are plastic. They are all plastic. Actually, yeah, they're all plastic handles. The old silverware I kept, there wasn't that much of it, but I still have it. Some of it's downstairs. Kathy says some might be designed to help those who have dexterity issues. I'm not aware that any of these are. So like after this, if I make myself a salad, I'm going to use one of the forks. But, I would encourage you guys, you don't have to eat with the same silverware all the time. It can be fun. I mean, for something you use so much, it's not that expensive to just maybe buy a little. You can buy an extra fork. You can buy a different fork if you want, or a different spoon. You can buy one. But it is fun. I have so much more fun now when I eat because I choose my silverware. I also think maybe it's good for your hands to eat with different types of silverware because If you eat with one, your hand gets used to doing one thing. And maybe some muscles get weak. But when you use different types of silverware, when you switch off, it works out different parts of your hand. So that's what, I think that's a benefit of mine using 4 different types of spoon. Hey, Shaggy's here. Shaggy says, I don't like my outdoor chair, pal. Rick says you could buy 2 play settings of each pattern. You could. These came in like sets of like 4 or 5 or whatever. So they were all like $25 or something or less. Risk Owns came by. The new plates, I showed those on the air. I love the new plates that I got. Maybe I'll talk about those. I don't want to do too much cutler or too much dinnerware or kitchenware, but maybe I'll give a plates update on a future stream. I'll write down a note to do that. Am I a vampire? No. We're going to end this stream soon. It's 12:48 a.m. But, we have a bunch of viewers on the West Coast. Queenful is here. So we started too late tonight. But we'll start less late in the future. You just watch. Let's see here. Hang on, I'm watching something real quick here. Hold on, what is this? Hang on. I'll have to look at that later. Derek says not even 10 p.m. yet. Yeah, I think it's been weirdly, we have not been on the air for a week on Agenda Free TV. I have a feeling it's not going to be that much longer. This is pretty long. This is pretty long between Agenda Free TV streams. So I would anticipate some more news happening soon that we would cover. Kay says, I'm going to make tuna salad after the stream now. I have inspired Kay to make tuna salad. Kay, your miracle fruit thing is coming on Wednesday, I think. It feels like it kind of does feel like we're getting to the natural end of the stream, doesn't it, guys? Guys, doesn't it feel like we're getting to the natural end of the stream? I mean, come on. You guys know, right? Who's with me? You can just tell. Sometimes you can just tell that you're getting to the natural end of the stream. It just feels like it. Basic J is here. Sarah says kind of. Yeah. Sarah says usually it feels forced. No, I think this Risk Owen says nope. Jan Porter says kinda. Yeah, I think we're at that point. Sean says what stream? What stream? Call Me Fat Jesus ended at a good time. 00 o'clock stuff. Rick says I'm vibing that too. Pretty chill tonight. Pretty chill here tonight, which is nice. Derek says whether or not we can feel it, it is here. Leon Reuter says no. Yeah, I think it's getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. What can I say? So, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me. Kind of a chill, really relaxed, chill Sunday night stream. We had Al Bow call in. That was so fun. We talked about some silverware. What did we talk about at the beginning? I don't even remember what we talked about at the beginning of the stream. Can't remember. Derek says severe weather this week ends Wednesday, Thursday. I'll keep an eye out, Derek. Derek, you might be streaming on your channel Weather Check on YouTube. Oh, I will say this. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to share a link. Eddie Smith sent out a preview. He hasn't officially posted his video yet, but he sent me a preview link, which I'm going to watch. That's Eddie, Country Road Entertainment, camping at Lake Wichita, Arkansas. So here's an early link, preview link. I will be watching this later for Eddie's video. We've been talking to Eddie in the chat. There it is. I just posted it. Camping at Lake Ouachita, Arkansas. I'm glad he got another video done. He does a good job on his videos. Oh, as Rick says, we talked about Kalivoltaire in the marathon. We did that. We talked about that. KDK, I have 2 silverware drawers because there's actually 2 kitchens here, 1 on each floor. But yeah, my silverware drawer up here is still pretty stacked. Oh, there's Eddie. There's Eddie. Eddie says that's the full video. Won't be public for a couple days, but y'all can see it. Eddie, I really look forward to watching it. So there you go. Callie says I didn't get her time. She said she finished and she had fun, and I didn't get. Callie was really exhausted when we started the stream. So maybe we'll hear from her the next couple of days. So Eddie, hey, thanks Grandma Daisy for subscribing. Thanks Grandma Daisy. Eddie, I am excited to watch this. See more about the camping adventures. So we'll talk about that shortly once I've watched it. Check out Eddie's video. Let's see here. Thanks, Eddie, for sending the link. KDK says, very chill, fun stream. Eddie said it was fun there on Wichita Island. But again, our moderators, Bastion Girl, A Moment of Lovely, Linda Bell, K-Body, Sarah, Beezy, Cynthia Moon. Thank you, mods. Thanks, Al, for calling in. We switched it up tonight. We switched it up. It's 1 a.m. I'm going to go to sleep pretty soon. As I told you, I woke up early today. Joel, we will at some point do a Walking in Boston stream. I promise you that. Sean, I don't know how late I'll stay up, Sean, but I will be overnight keeping an eye on. Like if I go to sleep and I wake up a few hours later, I'll check on the futures and all that. Raven Riley. Oh, I missed Raven Riley was modding too. Thanks, Raven Riley. Sean says news could start early tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to go to bed pretty soon. Let me thank people for watching. Barbara D, Joel Meyer, Kathy Moran, Call Me Fat Jesus, Grandma Daisy, F22 Raptor, One Way Street, Risk Owns, and Sean TV, and Rick Hoppy, Gigi, Mia Noxid, Kevin213 from Texas, Nigel. Derek says, come vacation in Arizona and rest your clock. Thanks also to Dio18. Watching on Twitch. Four Paws. Crabsuit Lando. Ascenderia. Adam Jones, thanks for watching. Kimberly Barr. Intoxicated. All right. Marlena Martirano, really appreciate you guys joining me for this chill Sunday night stream. Very chill. Very chill. Oh, it's time. We're feeling it, aren't we? Oh, and don't forget Lookner channel on Twitter. Do not forget about it. Risk Owens says, until the next big report. Lookner channel on Twitter, guys. Don't forget. There it is. Do I watch wrestling? No, I used to. Kevin is watching from work. Kevin213, nice. Rick Hoppy says, I enjoyed Chill tonight. Great seeing you, Rick. Hey, really looking forward to Sean's table coming later in the week. We'll probably talk some more about the shelving for the new studio coming up this week. Really looking forward to getting to work on the new studio. Oh, I got to get some sleep tonight. Kevin, no worries. Glad you're posting some messages there. Gossamer, good seeing you. Barbara D. Linda Gordon. All right, guys. That's it. What can I tell you? Sean says, table could be early next week. We will know in the next few days. Sounds good. EQ, thanks for watching as well. Hey guys, thanks again. Sorry for the late start time. We'll be starting earlier next time, hopefully. But I'm glad you came around and hung out. All right, guys, that is it. I'm wrapping it up. I hope you've had a good weekend. I hope you have a great start to your week. Thanks again so much to our mods. Oh, thanks to everybody who donated. That's super nice of you guys. Big thanks. Sonic, Kalivoltaire, Norm, Zach Cohen, Eddie Smith, JLL, and Lark Sporadic. Very kind of you. Thank you. All right, that is it. We're wrapping it up. Thanks, guys, for watching. This has been Lookner channel. I just realized you could see the monitor in the lower this corner here. I didn't realize that before, but it was happening there. I took care of it at the end of the stream. All right, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you very, very soon. If I can figure out how to end the stream. Why? Nothing. I can't. Nothing is showing up on my stream deck. Let's see. All right. Let's I gotta pick it. Here it is. All right. Have a good night, guys.